Welcome back to the MFTF Quick Guides. Today we'll be looking at the before and after in a test. So we've got a test in front of us today. It's the admin create order with virtual product in single stock mode with back orders test. The only reason we've chosen this is that it has significant actions within the before step. So we'll look at that, look at how it's being used, and talk through a couple of best practices around what we do with before and afters. If you've never used these before, so we can have within a test itself, also within suites, but today we're just looking at tests, we have a block of before, so we close that off here, and after. So within these, within a test, what we can do is specify actions that must happen before the actual test actions themselves. And then once the test has either completed or when the test errors or fails, we will then run the after actions. So if you're familiar at all with test creation and test ready, this will be your setup or precondition steps within the before, and your after is your teardown or cleanup. And that's how we use these in tests. So let's go and look at our before steps. So when the before runs, it can run a number of different things. So it can run standard test actions, including asserts. So you see wait for page load, standard test action, I'm on page, click selector, all normal test actions. Can also use action groups and can use our create data functions as well. We can also pass Magento CLI actions in here as well. So essentially before actions are standard test actions, but they are required as preconditions. If there's a failure in the before actions, the test actions themselves will not run. The after actions then, they're your cleanup steps. So what you really want to do with these is ensure that your data that you use with create data is then deleted. That's referenced by step key. And that any Magento CLI actions you've used to, say, change a config value, change that back to the opposite. So before and after actions can be very useful to set up and clean up your environment, but they're also very useful in actually ensuring that you can have both the setup that you need, but also to ensure that your actual test actions outside of the before and after is focused on what you want under test. So that setup steps that get your environment to the state that you want to then begin executing the test against your functionality aren't confused with actual test steps themselves. This is the functionality in question. This is merely some steps you need to take to ensure that that functionality is available in the correct way to test. If we look at this test in particular, it has a lot of actions in its before. That's everything from here through to here. This is going to run every time the test runs. This includes create data actions. It's expanding action groups to do many actions. So that's quite a lot of work. Now for this test itself, it obviously needs this, so that's fine. But for this type of functionality, if we had many tests that shared this functionality, that needed this same type of setup, that will be where we want to move this large, obviously very costly in terms of performance actions into a suite so that the suite could handle these before preconditions for a larger number of tests to use. That will be covered in our MFTF Quick Guide on Suites. For now, that's a quick look at before and after, and I hope you can join me next time. Thanks.